Alright, we're good. Stream time, baby. Okay. We should be going live in like a little bit, I think. I'm not sure. I think we're live now. Yeah, we should be. Okay. What's up, guys? We're here. Alright, let's tweet out. We're gonna post image of Popo Bulbo Devilman. Dude, this episode was nuts. I'm actually like I'm wow. That's how I feel about it. I am wow. I don't really have words. I do. And that's why we're here. But like, man, show is crazy. So first off, happy Friday, guys. This is gonna be a shorter stream, just because I have stuff to do. So it'll probably be around like 20 to 30 minutes. But that's more than enough time for me to talk about everything I want to talk about because wow, this episode was very fast. Like a lot of stuff just happens. We got to see way more than I thought we were gonna see, and that teaser for next episode, with Chariot Requiem, like, oh man, what's up, Gio? How you doing? Well, like, okay, so this episode was nuts. You start off right where we left off with Doppio trying to help Bruno get into the Colosseum because Bruno's all messed up and he's dying and shit, right? And since Bruno's like dying right now, he can kind of just sense people's spirits because I guess that's how it works in JoJo. But he can't really see people's faces, and because Doppio is Diavolo, his spirit is similar to Trish's, and Bruno is familiar with Trish, so he sees Trish in Doppio. So he thinks that Doppio is Trish, trying to help him get into the Colosseum, which I always thought was kind of funny. Some really weird shit. But like, oh man, you got some like funny little comedy moments. I mean, it's dead, but like dying now. Like his body's withering and shit. And by the way, Polnareff Rock. Shout out to Polnareff Rock. That pains me to look at. But it is what it is. But like, no, we got some good comedy moments out of Doppio panicking while trying to bring Bucciolati into the Colosseum and not being aware of it, and then Polnareff catching on to the fact that like there's somebody there with Bucciolati, and he's like, "Who are you? Turn around, show yourself, show me your stand." Is where things got interesting because he was like, "Oh, if you can show me your stand from over there, I can trust you." To which Diavolo in his head is like, damn, this guy's familiar with like stand ranges and stuff. He knows what he's talking about. Who is this? And then he notices the arrow. And after he notices the arrow, he's like, oh shit, I've met this guy before. That's Polnareff. And then they do the whole flashback with how Diavolo actually like uncovers the arrows in Egypt, and like he talks to Enyaba about them and stuff, which I always liked because it ties Diavolo back into Dio somehow through the means of the arrows, and it's also a little bit of like nice info considering that he just like sold the arrows off, and from there they got sold out to other people, and this was like right after Stardust Crusaders, so that's most likely how what's his face, Kira's dad got hold of an arrow, and also like Okuyasu's brother. I always forget his name for some reason. That's most likely how they got hold off of those arrows, is just from them being like purchased and bought. Because they also mentioned Enya in part 4. So I just like the way that they kind of just like tie these two parts back to part 3 with the whole Dio thing, and that's how all these people have stands. I thought that was pretty sick. That's one of my favorite things about this part of part 5. Because again, I know a ton of people don't like the end game of part 5. They think it's kind of whack. For whatever reason, I don't think it's whack at all. It's like a big leap, definitely, in like how things happen. But I think now with the anime, people might see it differently, because a lot of people that don't like it have read the manga, obviously, because the anime is not done yet. And so they think that it's kind of whack, and they think, oh, it's just an ass pull, this and that, even though they've alluded to it and mentioned it before a couple times with, like, there being something that you can do with the stand arrow. And then in part 4, you have Kira literally, like, stabbing himself and getting bites of dust. And it's some cool shit. Some cool shit. The anime said Jotaro went to America and Asia, teasing part 6. Yeah, I guess. Because Jolene lives in Florida, and part 6 is all in Florida. Just saw something funny earlier where somebody was like, part 6 is the most believable part of JoJo because it's just like, if I saw a gay Florida priest attempts to create heaven on earth by using supernatural powers on a news site, I'd just accept it. And it's pretty true. Because if I were to see some shit like that come out of Florida, I definitely would believe it. I'd be like, yeah, y'all got it. Because I just know how Florida is. People are very crazy down there. Yeah, the ending part of part 5 is pretty awesome. I love it. It's really cool. Because, again, I think the whole idea of, like, Requiem stands is really cool, and they only keep it in part 5. That's what makes it so unique. Unless, like, part 8 were to, for whatever reason, be like, oh, shit, we have an arrow now. We got Requiem stands. Part 5 is the only part that has it. And so, like, it keeping it just adds to that uniqueness that part 5 has. And it being self-contained within part 5 is nice because they don't break the boundary of, like, the power scaling for the whole rest of the series. Except for Poochie. Poochie's just broken as shit, which people don't give him credit for. What's up, Sergeant Peps? But, like, people don't give Poochie credit for being strong and broken. And I've been preaching the Poochie gospel for I don't know how long. Because I think people need to give Poochie more credit where credit is due. You were expecting Jotaro burning Dio's diary, but the flashback was... Dude, the flashback was sick. That would have been nice to see. But yeah, the flashback was pretty cool because you get to see Jotaro and Polnareff in part 5's art style, which people thought... or looked at it, I saw them tweeting about it, and I was like, y'all really didn't read the manga. Because they thought that Jotaro and Polnareff looked all weird since they were super skinny. But that just has to do with, like, Araki just drawing them that way again in the manga. So, like, I saw one post where it was, like, comparing the anime to the manga, and it's, like, the exact same thing. And it's better that they keep it in part 5's art style, not only because the manga did it, but it just keeps consistency with the animation, you know? It's better to keep that consistency than having something not be there. Man, look, I want to let you know, Nara, I've been attacked for so long for saying that Bites of Dust is a Requiem, or the concept of the Requiem stand, because it's literally the same exact thing. At least the idea is the same exact thing, and that's probably where he got the idea from and just decided he was going to use it after and then leave it at that. I've been attacked so much for that. And there's probably going to be people that are watching this later that are going to be like, it's not a Requiem stand, to which I will say, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. But no, seriously, like, I've been attacked for that. Because people are like, oh, it's not a Requiem stand because it didn't happen until after. Well, considering it's the same guy writing the story, he probably just decided he was going to, use the idea after. Then it's probably just, why he uses it after, because it's his idea. People are dumb. What's up, Julius? How you doing? But yeah, people are very dumb. This episode was mad hype. So, like, Diavolo notices the whole arrow thing, and that's when he actually starts his attack on Polnareff, which I always like this part. And Geo, yes, Silver Chariot yeeting the yeeting Polnareff's wheelchair is very hype. I love that shit. It's just like one of those goofy JoJo things that they just do. But today's episode is really good. Like, it was stupid good, but what you call it? So, like, I've always loved this part with Polnareff and Diavolo, and people don't give it enough credit. Well, one, in the backstory, in, like, the flashback or whatever between Polnareff encountering Diavolo and figuring out, like, oh, this guy's, like, doing a bunch of crime-related stuff with the stand arrows. I've got to destroy that shit, because he doesn't want that power in somebody else's hand, because, Polnareff already experienced Dio. He knows how dangerous stands can be in the wrong hands. He just wants people to, chill out and not do bad shit. Polnareff gets stabbed in the eye, which is why his left eye has a big ass scar in it, and he's got that giant eye patch over his eye. He gets an arm chopped off, and he gets both of his legs cut off, and he survives that shit. Like, Polnareff doesn't die. He had already taken leg damage and, like, severe damage in his fight with Dio not too long before that, which I always thought was crazy. Like, people didn't give Polnareff credit for surviving Dio, which is like a feat, because the only ones that didn't die were technically Polnareff and Jotaro, because at one point Joseph is kind of quote unquote dead, but they bring Joseph back to life because brings his heart back and blood, as something we'll talk about another day. But technically Jotaro and Polnareff are the only two that didn't die to Dio, and didn't get completely like body bagged. Like they were still functioning after, even though they were severely hurt. And Jotaro had a ton of broken bones. Polnareff had a ton of broken bones. They could function. They're fine. Broken bones mean nothing. But people don't give Polnareff credit, man. It really upsets me and hurts me on a spiritual level. Because I love Polnareff. Polnareff is like top 5 best characters in all of JoJo. I say this any single time I talk about Polnareff and or JoJo, and somebody asks, oh, what about a top 5 on this? Polnareff is in the top 5. I would argue and say that he's like the number 3 or the number 2. I'd have to think on it, like think on my top 5 super hard, and then pick a number 1. But Polnareff is 100% in my top 5. But he survived, man. He survived against Diavolo, and like Diavolo's strong as shit. Everybody knows he's strong as shit. I mean, he's so effortlessly just chopped up Polnareff's body into pieces, like literally into pieces. Shout out to the Polnareff rock screenshot that you guys are gonna see again on here. But even Diavolo was like, "Yo, I thought I killed you." Like that's pretty crazy. I thought I killed you. I really thought I killed you because I literally chopped your body up into pieces and left you at sea. And like honestly, bro, I'm surprised that he survived too. Because just seeing how much damage he took, it's like holy shit. Like he really should be dead, but here he is alive, and that's why Polnareff is the best. He's just a guy being a dude, and he keeps fighting no matter what. And I like that Diavolo points out when he has this encounter at the Colosseum. So Polnareff like bites his finger to the point where he starts bleeding, so that the blood will drip on his leg, so that he can keep note of when he's using time skip, which is very smart on Polnareff's end. Shout out to Polnareff for being a genius. But Diavolo points out that he's smart for that, but he also points out that Silver Chariot has not lost any power or speed despite Polnareff's body being weak. And like, you know, stands being like an embodiment of like your spirit and your soul and stuff. We've seen like the stands can get like a bit weaker and stuff as the stand user is injured, and you know, stuff with like Sex Pistols where the stand getting injured, like in the last fight, you literally see Chocolata like chopping up the Sex Pistols. It was damaging Mista really bad. So like, despite the fact that Polnareff is in such bad conditions, like his spirit and his resolve is still so strong that he's still able to keep up with Diavolo when it comes to like his timing and his precision. Like people again don't give him enough credit for that shit. Even Diavolo points it out. He's like, dude, like that's pretty impressive. Like had I been a bit closer, I would have taken like a really fatal blow, and he had that huge cut on his arm. Because Polnareff is just smart and strong. Yeah, this is Polnareff rock right here. He's all chopped up and hurt. And this makes me very sad, but he survived this. He did not die from this. That is extremely impressive. Literally both of his legs and an arm and his eye. Look at the amount of blood there. Like, bro. That's just ridiculous that he didn't die. Like, Polnareff is actually a god. Donating is the only way to kill people properly. Yeah, you just punch them really hard through the chest to make a really big chest hole, and then they can't function anymore. But if a JoJo character loses an arm or a leg, they can keep fighting for the next 12 years. Because that's how it be. Oh, Polnareff would definitely be able to wield Mjolnir, dude. Thor's hammer, he's 100% worthy. Polnareff is a very righteous guy. He's a very good guy. He's the best, man. He's the best. I also always loved Giorno's situational awareness. In terms of him realizing that, like, time is being skipped again. He's like, yeah, we have to hurry, but we have to be careful because the boss is, like, nearby. And he could attack us at any given moment, which is, like, pretty nice on Giorno to be so self-aware. And that's one of my favorite things about his character is, like, his awareness and his surroundings. He's a genius, man. What do I think about Diavolo's design in the anime? I love it. I love it. I think he looks way better than he does in the manga. Not to say he looks bad in the manga, but, like, look at him, dude. Look at the way that they draw him. He just looks so menacing and, like, so ferocious. I know everybody's, like, thirsting over him right now on Twitter and shit, and they're like, oh my god, he's hot. Or, like, oh my god, he's so pretty, because look at his lips, look at his hair, and his eyes, and, but, like, then you get shots like this. Like, look at how fucking menacing he looks, dude. And, like, seeing just his eyes like this now, always, because those are the Diavolo eyes instead of just seeing them occasionally flip from Doppio. Dude, Diavolo is just, he's sick, man. He's really cool. Very good villain, 11 out of 10. He is very ferocious, and he has a really strong stand, and he's smart too. Like, he's aware of what's going on, for the most part, at least to an extent, on what he understands, and he's able to quickly assess the situation, and deal with, like, Polnareff as quickly as possible, because he saw that Polnareff has the arrow, and he wants to get the arrow no matter what. After seeing Polnareff stab himself with the arrow, or stab Chariot with the arrow, and he's like, oh, it's glowing, it's doing something, and then he grabs the arrow after thinking that he's all fine, and then Chariot Requiem shows up, and he's got the arrow, and, like, some crazy shit, man. But Diavolo's a dude. He's a lad. You should definitely get a little more credit. I think now, again, with the anime, like, the anime always makes these characters get more credit because more people are going to see them in the anime than they are going to read the manga, because some people just don't like reading manga. Other people are just lazy. They don't want to catch up. They prefer watching only the anime. Or they read the manga, don't pay attention. And when I say read, I mean look at the pictures. Don't pay attention. And then they see him in the anime again, and they're like, oh, yeah, this guy's really good. Because people do that. It happens. Like, look at how good the shot is, man. Like, Diavolo just looks really awesome. I love how vibrant his colors are, too. The pink and the green and the light there. It's very nice. It's very nice. Alright, what are you guys saying in chat? Polnareff soul is in the turtle. Not yet. Not yet. The soul switch is going to happen soon, but Polnareff is technically, like, dead. Dying dead. Because his heart stopped beating and his, like, soul essence was coming out of his body. You know, the little white stuff. It was leaving his body. So he's pretty dead right now. But his soul is still kind of just lingering because he doesn't want Diavolo to, you know, be out there. And Chariot Requiem is still functioning. And Chariot Requiem is also now going to do one of the coolest things. Nah, we won't get an opening remix until the very last episode. Which makes me wonder if they're going to have it skip and then if they're going to do a Requiem effect in the same episode. Because we've never had anything like that happen where it's like, you know, Requiem and, like, the final villain. Like, we've never had a Requiem-esque ability come in. Because normally it's just, like, you get to the end or whatever. And, like, the last episode will have a special opening where the villain does something to the episode. So, like, Dio freezes the opening. Kira reverses it and it, like, rewinds. So, like, now it's probably going to skip. But I also think that they could do something with Requiem. And that'll be pretty cool. That'll be pretty cool. I hope they do something with it. I hope we don't have to wait too long for Stone Ocean. Like, I really want them to get to it as soon as possible. And just do it. Because I don't want to wait. Like, as impatient as it makes me sound, I really don't want to wait at all. I'm just so hyped for seeing Stone Ocean finally. It's like my favorite part. I don't think it's the best part. I think part 8 is the best part, but 6 is my favorite. You guys know. I made that part 6 video, like, what, a month ago? After wanting to make it for, like, 2 whole years and not making it. I think they're almost done with the part 4 dub. I don't remember how far they are in it. It might have already finished, actually. So, maybe part 5's dub will come out soon. I could see part 5's dub coming out, around the time they start working on part 6 anime. So I think that's when they'll do it. Dude, part 6 is going to be sick. But this episode, oh, the finale for part 4 is tomorrow in the dub. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'll have to watch that then. What time is it on? Like 1 a.m. I think, 2 a.m. It's on like the later part of Toonami, I think. But yeah, man, this episode was just nuts. It was nuts. Like, oh my god, dude, it was ridiculous. Poor Polnareff, he can never catch a break when it comes to stairs. Cause he encounters Dio and Diavolo on stairs. Somebody just tweeted Polnareff meeting God and the devil. Cause Dio being Dios, which is God in Spanish and Latin and Italian and all those other variations of that. And Diavolo being devil in Italian and also probably Latin. Deriving from there, you know, that's how Italian and Spanish work. They all come from Latin. But yeah, Polnareff is never gonna get a break on the stairs, man. Imagine if they do a stereotypical Italian accent English dub of Vento Aureo. I mean, they did like the really dumb English accents for part 1 and part 2. They're not for everybody. Like Joseph has like the dumb English accent. I don't really like Joseph's dub voice. I like dub Jonathan though, cause it's Johnny Young Bosch. So it's really fitting when he screams. Cause he's got that like roughness to him, you know. Like Johnny Young Bosch is Ichigo and Nero from DMC, if you guys aren't aware. And he also voices Zero and he voices what you call it, Zero in Marvel vs. Capcom. Zero from Mega Man, the GOAT. The GOAT. I don't think all of the accents are bad. I just didn't like Joseph's. I thought Joseph's was kind of whack. But they're not all bad. They're not all bad. I like them. But basically, my verdict is, and I think I just opened up the wrong thing. My computer? No, we're good. I meant to click on OBS, and I thought I opened up my Elgato software. I don't need to open that. But basically, my verdict on this episode 33, is Diavolo GOAT. He has one of the best introductions in like the anime period for any of the villain characters or just any of the characters in the JoJo anime in general. Like his true introduction, because we've seen him for a while now and we've heard his voice and stuff, but we haven't seen his face yet. Like today's episode is where Doppio ripped off the shirt and he transformed into Diavolo, and you actually get to see him, you know? Whereas we didn't see that before. This is the first time we get to see it. So it's really great. I love it. I love the way that they drew classic Polnareff and Silver Chariot and the flashback. I love the way that Silver Chariot looks in the Colosseum fight. It's awesome. Every bit of this episode is really good. Silver Chariot Requiem being the last thing that you see in the episode, and it being like the teaser for the next episode, and seeing the stand arrow in his neck and stuff as it's just walking away. After Diavolo thought like, oh, there's nobody else here, and he hears footsteps and he's like, yo, who the hell is that? And he looks over and it's Silver Chariot Requiem just standing there like, that shit, man. It's so good. It's so good. It's so cool. But I can't wait. Next episode is gonna be sick. I really didn't think they were gonna show this much in this week's episode. Like I thought it was gonna be a bit slower paced, but no, they did a lot. They covered a lot. We now have 5 episodes left. I believe, yeah, 5 episodes left, counting next week's episode, because next week's episode is 34. I don't think we're going to get any more recaps at all, from this point onward, because there's no reason to, but, I don't know, what do you guys think about the episode in general? I thought this was, like, I know I say this every week, but that's because they keep making a better episode every single week, but this was actually the best episode that we've had yet. It was funny, it was entertaining, it made me feel sad, with the Crusaders flashbacks. They really handled well the whole Polnareff and Diavolo backstory situation. I love the way that it was done. It was so good. It really emphasizes the threat that Diavolo is, and how strong he is, and how easy he was able to just take out Polnareff. Like, he did so much to him, dude, in such a short amount of time. After Polnareff thought, oh, I finally got this guy. And then he got bodied. This episode was super good. Yeah, Flashback is very sad. Seeing, like, Polnareff also, just seeing the Crusaders as he's, like, dying on the ground, and just remembering them. So you get to see, like, Iggy, Kakyoin, Jotaro, Avdol, Joseph, like, seeing all of them again, man, it made me sad. It made me sad. But I can't wait. Next week's episode is going to be so sick, man. It's going to be so sick. You think they're going to show next episode because the chaps after this are wild? Well, it's the Requiem plays part 1. So I'm assuming that the Silver Chariot Requiem stuff is going to be like 2 or 3 episodes, and then, like, the last 2 episodes are going to be like that last bit after they're like outside the Colosseum and all that. Because they have to, like, kind of stretch it a little bit. Not really, because the pacing that they're going at right now is really good, and since it's a part 1, then we're fine. I think like Gold Experience Requiem is gonna be like part 1 maybe, and like the end of the episode will be Giorno stabbing himself with the arrow, and then like the very last episode will be, you know, just whatever. Or I don't know if they'll call it part 1 and part 2 for the last part. They might like just title it something, but that's what I'm thinking they're gonna do, something around that. Anime Expo JoJo panel might announce Purple Haze feedback OVA. I don't even know if they're, I didn't even know that they were doing that. Like, I didn't know that they were doing a panel at AX. Favorite Jo star? Jolene. She's the best one. Don't at me. I love that Judgment is one of the things Polnareff flashbacks to. Really shows his emotional impact on him. Yeah? It's great, man. It's great. Yeah, this episode was sick. I have stuff to do. So unfortunately, I gotta cut the stream early, and I also gotta finish eating before I do said stuff. Shout out to eating, by the way, because I got that root canal done yesterday. That shit hurt. I have to get one more in like 2 weeks. Not gonna be fun. And I might have to do a third one, depending on how my tooth holds up. I think I'll be fine though. So you guys wish me luck on that. Shout out to 14-year-old me eating like 5-pound bags of Sour Patch Kids in like an hour regularly. I used to eat a lot of sugar, and it ruined my teeth. But that's besides the point. This JoJo episode was shit. Yeah, it was shit. It was sick as shit. No, this episode was very shit. It was very bad. It was absolutely terrible. It was boring. Boo, I hate it. No, this episode was sick as shit. It was so worth the wait. Like, all these weeks since October up until now. Like, October started with Vento Aureo. And here we are now, almost done. Finally got to Mr. Diavolo. It's so hype. It's so hype. In Polnareff's dying flashback, you can also see Enya's hotel on the Anubis pillar. Yeah, you can. It's great. But yeah, this episode was super sick. I hope you guys all have a great Friday. Thanks so much for coming out to the stream. I appreciate it. I really can't wait until next week. Like, I know I say this every week, but next week is actually going to be dumb hype. Because we get Silver Chariot Requiem. And Chariot Requiem is just like, it's really cool, man. It's really cool. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait. It's going to be very sick. What about a new JoJo game? I don't know. I have no idea when they're going to like decide to announce a new JoJo game. If they do, I hope they just include more Part 8 characters. Now that they have more Part 8 characters, and also include more characters from every other part that is in Part 3 or Part 4. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I would hope. They just include more of the other stand users and antagonists. I know it would be a lot of characters, depending on what the kind of game is too. But I just think that they should include other guys, you know? Yeah, well, it was like yesterday, because it was his birthday in Japan, because Japan time's like 13 hours ahead of me. So right now, in Japan, it is 4:49 a.m. As for me, it's 3:49 p.m. So yeah, technically it was yesterday, but yeah, like the 7th is Araki's birthday. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too, since the anime did come out. They would also have like some sort of Part 5 representation, like more of it, just to kind of cross promote it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around. I've got stuff to go do. I'm gonna go eat. And then I gotta go handle some shit. Have a nice Friday. I don't know. Go do whatever else you're gonna do. Enjoy your day. Shout out to Chariot Requiem. Shout out to the Colosseum. Shout out to Diavolo. Shout out to Polnareff, the GOAT. Can we get a round of applause for Polnareff? Round of applause for Polnareff. That's my guy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. And I'll see you guys next time. So peace out.